What is up, my friends? This is Landfall, and here we have the game number 3 between DuckloadRa and DiMaga in the King of the Hill series. I will have the series organizer's website at the description section of this video, and there goes a good luck, have fun, GG from both players. Both players very well mannered, always throwing down those famous 2 letters at the end of each game. So we have DiMaga spawning here in the top left corner as the blue Zerg, and DuckloadRa spawning in the bottom right corner as the red Protoss. That probe is going, oh wow, throwing down a pylon. Looks like he is going to be going for a fast forge into an expansion. Same thing he did in game number 1, where DuckloadRa was, as a result, was able to keep an economic edge over his opponent for the remainder of the game, and just overpowered him with a nice unit composition: Colossus Void Ray versus Mass Hydra Lynx. I mean, those Lynx and Hydras die so fast to those Colossus. Game number 2, DuckloadRa did go for a fast forge again, but that time he went for a cannon rush. But DiMaga saw that as soon as those pylons were thrown down, and threw, I believe, either 9 or 10 drones at those completing pylons and cannons. Those cannons did not a single cannon saw the light of day, as I recall, and DuckloadRa even pulling back some drones into helping those cannon finish, but none of them got finished, and Zerg players was just eventually able to counterattack with a Ling army and win the game. It was a rather fast game, and looks like in this game DiMaga is going to be going for a pool before hatch. He is almost getting near to that 300 mineral mark, and DuckloadRa already has his pesky little probe in position. That drone is going to be moving out, and the probe is going to be delaying that hatch for as long as possible. And meanwhile, in the Protoss space, we do see a forge and the Nexus going down, very fast expansion. Likewise, similar to game number 1, the probe's not going to even bother blocking that hatch, and it is going to be thrown down rather undelayed. 4 Zerglings and 1 Queen on the way for the Zerg, very standard right there. And those Zerglings are just going to be chasing this probe away. A gateway on the way as a block for the Protoss player, and that drone to position even before that forge was finished. He wants that first cannon in place immediately. And oh, looks like what this probe is just chilling there. Oh, never mind, throwing down an assimilator and another assimilator, so a double gas on the way for the Protoss player. No gas yet for the Zerg player. This tells us that he is not going to be going for that fast Zergling speed for early map control. So as a result, these Zerglings will not be quite as fast to chase down that probe. And his 1ling did die here, and DiMaga responds with the TT, how should I say this, crying face. Yes, there we go, crying face. That is not a tight wall in, I believe. There is going to be a little soft spot right here. He needs to either get sentries or zealots or stalkers to block that. And cybernetics core going down, very nice. Looks like that Overlord is just going to be poking into the Protoss's natural, and seeing that natural has completed, he responds immediately by putting down his 3rd hatch, which he did not do in game number 1. I believe that the Protoss and Zerg were on equal basis for quite a while there, and looks like Zerg is going to be trying something a little different this time. Still no gas for the Zerg. This, I guess he just wants those early minerals. I mean, his spending is pretty well, always keeping his money low, and going to be going for those later gas, which, I mean, there is a trade-off. 7 drones on production there at once. Yep, you could either go drone heavy or early layer, but not both. So still no gas. Looks like he really wants those early drones. And 2 Stargate already on the way for the Protoss, and he already has 4 gas. Most likely going to, yep, 4 gas, 2 Stargate. Tells us that he's most likely going to be going for a heavy airplay. Now in game number 1, DuckloadRa went for a 1-star gate and 1 robo, but we do not see a robo anywhere, and there is no robo on the production overlay. So it looks like he is going to be going heavy air this time. Wow, 12 drones being produced at once for the Zerg player. He really wants that early harvester advantage, which will give him an even bigger economic advantage later in the game. 53 drones to 40 probes. That is definitely a healthy harvester advantage, as the Zerg even throwing down a 3rd hatch. I mean, he has so many harvesters at this stage of the game. It's going to be quite hard for him to keep up with his spending. Why not just throw down a proxy hatch so you get those extra larvas, double the injects. Meanwhile, these 2 star gates are just going to be pumping out void rays. Nice saturation right here. Could be better. Very nice saturation. Yep, in all 3 bases. So that our Zerg player is going to already has that saturation he wants. I mean, I can't blame him. He had so much mineral at the start, and he was pretty much just making drones non-stop. How many Zerglings does he have? He only has 2 right now and 4 queens, so pretty much all of those minerals were spent on drones. But there's 1, 2, 3 void rays already out, and we'll see what kind of damage they're able to cause. I mean, right now the Zerg player has 2 spores on the way. Any queens? No queens being produced. It's quite vulnerable, I would say, because in the main he only has 1 spore and a queen. 1 spore and a queen, the natural, and 2 queens and a spore in the 3rd. But these are a lot of Protoss units being streaming in. Very nice, throwing down a 3rd expansion, just because if that air play fails, you need some sort of follow-up. Not going all in, which is how Starcraft should be played, in my opinion. And it looks like the layer is completed. This is a lot of air units. He cannot just rely exclusively on static, which is why he is getting that spire right here, I believe. And all 3 queens being picked out by those graviton beam, and this Protoss army is gonna have no problem cleaning that up. These air units are loose inside the Zerg base. He has nothing to deal with them except these 2 spores at the back, not really doing anything. I mean, even if this air unit went head-on with them, which is what's happening now, it's not even going to get a single unit into. Oh, there's 1 unit being colored, but it's not going to be enough to deal with this air threat. 1 queen popping up, and she's just like, see ya. Not much air defense in the natural as well. Huge damage being done here by the Protoss units, Protoss player, and even more unit being rallied. 2 more phoenixes joining their friends. 4 queens right here, but I mean, so many phoenixes, so it means there's going to be enough graviton beams to neutralize those queens. Looks like these phoenix being a little bit mishandled. 1 of them going down, graviton being going in for 2 queens, and the 3rd queen doesn't even need to be picked up, because I mean, even if you do transfuse, there are just so many void rays and phoenixes. Muta's popping out a little too late, and there goes a GG from Dimaga. And DuckloadRa being able to keep his opponent on the edge for, I would say as soon as those air units popped out, Dimaga was in panic mode, and he was just not able to get that spire up fast enough to deal with this air threat. Hope you enjoyed that. Again, this is Landfall. Goodbye and good game.